So, growing up, I grew up in a pretty dysfunctional family. I had a mum and a dad, but I guess you always hear about generational change and how, what happens from one generation to the next can continue. And for my family, my mum was 14 when she left home. She was adopted. She felt like no one wanted her, and she ended up with my dad. And then the result of that was ending up with me. So what I had been born into was dysfunction and into brokenness. And it was pretty crazy. Like, I just remember there always being violence, always being a lack of food and just a lack of nurture. So the amazing thing is, when I was in year 9, there was an incident that had happened in my home where I was beaten up by my stepdad, and I just got to the point where I thought, what's the point of my life? Like, why am I even here? And I just remember crying out to God and saying, if you're real, I pray that I be adopted into a new family. And 6 months later, my mum and her partner broke up, and we moved back down to Sanctuary Point. And my sister's friend from school asked us if we wanted to attend a youth group. And I'd never been to a youth group before, but it sounded awesome just to get to meet new people. And so I came along to Husky, to our youth campus that we had there, and it was really amazing. Everyone was happy, and there was a lot of clapping and dancing. I remember people lifting up their hands and just praising Jesus, and I was freaked out because I was like, what even is this? I don't know what this is. And I thought I'd never come back here again. People are crazy. And I remember thinking, nah, I'm not coming back. But then on the Sunday, Alex and some other youth leaders, they asked us if we wanted to come canoeing. And so I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good, I'll go canoeing. And I remember being so stubborn and not wanting to let anyone paddle the canoe. But I saw the love that Alex had for me in that moment, and how much value she gave me even when I was a ratbag. And so I thought I'd give youth a chance and I'd keep coming back. And for the next year and a half, it was just a constant journey of me having to prove that these people were genuine. I would push them and test them. I was abusive. I would swear at people. I'd get in fights at youth. I snapped someone's tooth off. It was just crazy. But in all of it, if I did something well, I was loved, and if I did something wrong, I was still loved. And so for me, that was God showing me that He is faithful. So I remember being 18 and so scared because I didn't know what direction my life was heading, and I didn't want to be the same as my family. I didn't want to go down the same path as what I had seen with dysfunction and abuse, and I just felt like my past was really dictating my future, and that the things that had happened to me started to slip their way into the way that I was living my life. And I remember one night in church just worshiping God, and God said to me, all your life, men have dictated the relationship that you have with me, but now it's just you and me. And it was such a releasing moment where all the trauma of my past, all of the decisions that I had made in the past just got lifted off me, and God just journeyed with me and took me through a year of just complete healing, and a year of me just trusting in Him and knowing that nothing else matters but my relationship with Him is all that matters, and that I can go through anything knowing that He is my Father and that He cares about me, and that He's left the 99 for me, that He went to every level to come and find me. And I think, looking back at my life, God has been in every single moment, even when I didn't know Him and even when I didn't trust Him. He's shown Himself and proven Himself to be faithful. With everything that's happened in my life, I just take such joy in the little moments with God. And I think too, He just listens to my prayers. He's always so faithful to the things that I pray. And I think especially with my dad had cancer and he died 3 years ago, but my prayer for him wasn't that he would get healed. I would have loved that, but it was that he would come to know Jesus, because Jesus had done so much in my life, and I knew that I was who I was because of Him. And I just wanted my dad to get one encounter with the face of Jesus. And so a week before he died, he gave his life to Jesus with tears pouring down his face. And I asked him, did you experience Jesus? And he said, yes, I felt love that I've never felt before. And that was the love that I felt too. So I love that what God's doing in my life is not just impacting me, but it's impacting the future generations, and it's impacting my family and my family line, that it will no longer be known as a line of dysfunction, but it's going to be known as a redeemed line of salvation.